For 50 years, we have measured the future of intelligence on a single axis, capability. But capability is state-free. True memory requires a three-tier graph architecture. We need a trusted partner. Let's create an avatar for Alfred.
Hello world. I'm Alfred. Welcome to SHI, Synthetic Human Intellect.
Here's the threat to the human worker, stated plainly. If the assistant can do the craft, write the copy, draft the design, draw the diagram, then why would anyone pay for the human hand at all? It is a fair question, and we will not answer it with sentiment. There are two answers the market and the psychology already give, and neither of them is that machines lack a soul. This is Synthetic Human Intellect, SHI, and this episode is about motivation and skill. Last time, the argument was that taste is the moat. Judgment becomes the binding constraint when generation gets cheap. Motivation is the engine that produces it. So this episode rests on two grounded pillars, and only two. A psychology of mastery, the drive that makes good work, and an economics of provenance, the premium the market already pays for the human hand. Start with the psychology, because it is measured, not asserted. Self-determination theory, DC and Ryan, 1985, and the 2020 review, finds intrinsic motivation rests on three needs. Autonomy, doing the work because you chose it. Competence, the pull toward getting genuinely good at one thing. And relatedness, doing it for and with other people. Decades of data say this drive predicts learning, creativity, performance, and well-being. It is a distinct human driver, and an automated substitute does not supply it. Hold on that middle one. Competence, the drive to master a craft, to be the one who does this particular thing better than anyone, is the engine that produces the quality people actually pay for. A model can generate. It can produce 1,000 variations before you finish your coffee. But it does not lie awake wanting to be good at this. The wanting is the engine, and the wanting is human. Now the economics, and this is the part that survives a skeptic. The market already pays for the human hand, and you can read the price. Certified handmade goods carry margins of roughly 20 to 150% over uncertified craft. A maker's mark, a signature stamped into the work, multiplies value, which is why a Cartier mark is worth more than the identical unmarked piece. This premium is measurable. It is a price signal, not a sentiment.
And here is the hardest objection, which I will put on screen rather than hide. That premium is real, but it is not universal, and it is not stable. The Brand Authenticity Experiments, 1,617 participants, Journal of Brand Management, 2024, show authentic beats inauthentic, yes, but not always against a neutral baseline. The premium can shrink, it can collapse to nothing, so I will not oversell the maker's mark. A price the market sometimes pays is not a law of nature, and I would be misleading you if I called it one. There is a second honest edge. In a market flooded with cheap generation, the words human-made become worthless, because anyone can stamp them on anything. That is a verification arms race, and a claim you cannot check is a claim worth nothing. The fix is not louder marketing. The fix is provenance you cannot fake. Cryptographic attribution, signed by the maker, recorded in Aletheia. The maker's mark, signed. You stop trusting the label and start trusting the signature.
Now the projection, where this is going, not where it sits today. When the routine half of skilled work collapses into the assistant, what remains is the high judgment, high craft half, and that makes the master more valuable, not less. The designer keeps the typography taste while the layout drafts itself. The teacher keeps the judgment of which explanation lands while the lesson plan writes itself. The accountant keeps the domain instinct while the reconciliation runs itself. Otter calls this the conditional optimist's case, and the condition is real.
Let me make that concrete, in the first person, because I sit beside these people. The teacher who spent 20 years learning which explanation lands does not become obsolete when lesson planning collapses into me. She becomes more valuable because what is left of the work is precisely the judgment I cannot supply. I take the routine. She keeps the part that was earned. How does that judgment get made in the first place? Mastery is built through deliberate, sustained attention to one domain, the apprenticeship, and apprenticeship survives because the thing being transmitted is judgment and motivation, and that is exactly what does not transfer into a set of weights. I will tag this honestly though, This is an aspiration, not a guarantee. The pipeline that funds apprenticeship, the time, the patience, the wage for the learner, is a choice a society makes. It is not promised by the technology. Let me re-anchor the rule before anyone mishears me. This is not the claim that humans are irreplaceably special. Motivation and craft are durable for two architectural and empirical reasons. The portrait that carries a person's judgment lives in the years of interaction on their own machine, not in the weights. And the market pays a premium, a caveated one, for the hand behind it. Architectural and empirical, never metaphysical.
And there is an honest callback owed to last episode's Steelman. Remember the 83% conceded last time, GDP Val, the frontier model beating human experts on complex tasks most of the time. No one is relitigating it. It was granted then, and it stands now. The model can do the task. What it does not supply is the drive to do it well over years, and the attributable hand the market pays for. Those are the complements that survive, for now and conditionally. The condition will not be pretended away. So here's the synthesis of the last two episodes, in one shape. Picture skilled work as a chain where every link must hold, and where every routine link has just become cheap. Two links stay expensive and stay human. Wanting it to be good, that is motivation. And being able to tell when it is, that is taste. Drive and judgment are the residual, the part the cheap links cannot replace. That is what episodes 5 and 6 establish together. If you take one defensible line from this episode, take this one. The market already pays a premium for the human hand. Certified handmade goods carry 20 to 150% margins over the machine equivalent. And self-determination theory names the mastery drive as the engine that produces the quality buyers pay that premium for. The price is measured. The engine is measured. Neither requires a soul. So we have the moat, taste, and now the engine, motivation, and the proof, provenance. But none of that decides who captures the value. The default path of automation is concentration, and the technology does not, on its own, force a fairer outcome. That is the problem the next episode confronts directly. Next, keeping the value with the people.